Hello everyone, welcome to my first menu report. This is Kimbu8884, and today we're going to recap all of the 2015 Club Penguin year, every party, every mini event there was this year, basically my opinion and my grade on how I thought this year has gone so far. First, I'd like to tell everyone, if you visit tkcpcheats.com, remember to vote for the 4th annual Penguin Talent Awards. Everything's going great so far. We've got thousands of votes. It's been fantastic. So if you go there right now, you can vote. Round 1 ends on July 11th, and Round 2 begins on July 11th. And then the whole thing ends on July 26th. That's when the winners will be announced. Just want to tell you guys that. Now, let's get started here. 2014 wasn't on much, but I did get to see the parties. I thought it was a great year as far as parties went. I really did. That was one of the best. I think my favorite was the Penguin Cup. Was probably top notch, one of the favorite. This year, it's been different. I really do. I think we've seen a major change in what we've seen in the past few years. Let's start in January. It was the Star Wars Rebels takeover. This is going to be the second Star Wars party. This party was very anticipated to be really good, and Club Penguin definitely lived up to it. I really think the team did a fantastic job on the graphics. There was a lot of features. I liked the lightsaber stuff. That was great. And they had that in the last party too. It was great. I love that. The people that you draw more people. When you put Star Wars in front of something, you're going to draw a crowd. You're going to draw more members. You're going to draw more money. And that's why Disney, when they bought Star Wars, that is what Club Penguin probably first thought of. Hey, we're going to get Star Wars on here. And they did. Now for 2 years. And I thought the party was good. I really did. I thought it was a good, settled party. Now, a lot of people might disagree with me when I say this, but I really think Club Penguin lacked on the rooms. I think there could have been more. So yeah, I just think I would miss it on the rooms. I think it could go a little more out there with the rooms, just a little more rooms to really give this party what it needs. So I'm gonna give the Star Wars Rebels Takeover a B+. And the only reason why it's a B and not an A is because of the rooms. I think there just could have been just a little more of something out there. I don't know what, but something a little more. Otherwise, perfect. It was a great opener to the 2015 season. I really think it's better than the Prehistoric Party. I think it's a lot better than that, so that was good. Let's move on to February. When I heard the Sound Studio Party was coming out, I was very excited that they were getting rid of the DJ3K thing, because the DJ3K was horrible. I think it was one of the worst gaming products they ever put out there. The Sound Studio, they revamped the DJ3K, and it was great. I think they did a great job doing that. A lot more people I see play it now than ever. And when you were allowed to have your music in the nightclub rather than just nightclub music, I think that was a fantastic idea. I give props to Club Penguin for that. I appreciate it. Now let's get down to business here. The February Sound Studio Party, it's just like the Music Jam. Not just like, let me make that clear. It's not just like the Music Jam, but it has the same familiar idea, so that's why I liked it. The new game, of course, I loved. I think it was great. The decorations of the party were great. Now here's what I didn't like about the party. It's too early. We've had our music jams in the summer. That's where they belong. They don't belong in February and midwinter. That's not where you get your traffic. It just doesn't make any sense. There's not many rooms. I'm sorry, but there's just not many rooms. If you're going to make a party like this, you need to make more rooms. And it was very disappointing to see that they were not able to make more rooms. And I really think they could have done more to it. Not many items either. I really thought it could have been a lot more items. It really just kind of was subdued, and just the sound studio portion of it, just the sound studio, it seemed like, was just the entire party. I know it was called the Sound Studio Party, but it needed more. I mean, you can't just play a bunch of music 15,000 times and expect it to be a great party. There needed to be a lot more. I just don't. I think the cruise ship thing was a good idea, just wasn't great. I don't think it was a great idea. If they had the cruise ship and decorated more around the island, makes sense. But they didn't. That's what made it disappointing. I'm going to give it a B-. I think they could have done a lot better with it. But I like the music jam feel to it. And like I said, too early. You need to release it in the summer. We'll get back to the summer thing later. I'll rant about it later. The Puffle Party, tradition. You know, it's always been a tradition. March or April, they switched between the years. It was in March this year. You know, I really like this Puffle Party. I like the rooms. The rooms were nice. The Puffles, you know, I really liked how you could get those different Puffles instead of playing their game where it's just like Candy Crush and trying for 17 hours trying to get those Puffles. It was a great piece to put those Puffles in that new room. New room, I like. It really is just a nice feel. You get the wild feel. I love that, and I love the Sasquatching. That's so cool. The items were nice in it. I have to say they were nice, not great, but nice. The features were really great. I think they could have included maybe a mini game, but maybe something like that would have been cool. I know it takes a lot of work, but you know, still great party. I think they hit the nail on the head with that party. There really wasn't anything I didn't like about it. I think it was a Puffle Party. It's a tradition. These traditional parties don't usually have problems, unless you're talking about the holiday party last season, or last year. Otherwise, these parties, these normal parties that we always have traditionally, are truly the best and usually don't have that many problems. I'm going to give this an A+. You know, I think they did a great job. I thought it was great. The pie party was the extra party in March. That was pretty good, too. That was enjoyable. You know, I like the extra parties. I love that week that you can get maybe in the beginning of March, middle of March, a week before the party, 2 weeks before that. I love it. Alright. Now, this is where I about had a cow. The Frozen Fever Party. When I saw the Frozen Party in 2014, I about had a cow, like I said. Then when I saw any opportunity for Frozen, any little teensy bit opportunity, short, does not matter. They will go after it. They will go after and make it a whole party. And that's what they did. And I was, you know, I complained about it, and I still am. But it was definitely not as good as the first one. I'm going to tell you that right now. It wasn't close to the first one. I think the first one was better than this one. I think this one was probably the most disappointing ever. I'm going to be honest with you. The pins. Here's what I thought was cool. The pins. I thought there was a ton of pins. It was like 10 pins. I don't remember the exact number. Great. I love that. The design was great. I love you throw the snowball, it gets frozen. Oh, that's so cool. I really think that was really nice that they did that, and I know they did the before. The items were relatively nice as well. I really did like the items. Now, okay, I didn't really like them, but I liked them. Here's where I saw the party just didn't make it very. It wasn't good. There's not many rooms. You needed more rooms. I don't know what they were thinking, but there just wasn't those, you know, the pizza parlor, the nightclub, inside the coffee shop, upstairs in the coffee shop. They just didn't do that stuff. And it's the little stuff that counts, honestly. And that just didn't happen. The repeat of items. I know, you know, people missed it. You know, the people missed last year's party, but they put too many repeat items, I swear. You know, they've been doing that lately, and it's kind of been ticking me off, because you know what, I know there's a lot of new people in Club Penguin in that, but you know what, you need to create some new items for some of these older players, kind of like me, and people from really 2010, 2011, 2012, I mean, those are the people that been there and they've got those items already. I don't like Frozen. It's I don't like it. The movie was okay, you know, I mean, if I was maybe younger, yeah, I mean, of course I would like it, but I'm not, and I just don't like the concept on Club Penguin. It makes it really childish, and there's a lot of people, teenagers that play this, so you got to think about that, and they never think about that. It's all about Disney and what they make, and we're going to put it on there. So I'm not a big Frozen person, so that's why I didn't like it. That's why this grade I'm going to give is very biased to me. And many of you might agree, many of you might not. I think many of you on Twitter will, and you've seen me complain about it 1,000 times. I'm going to give it a C+. Again, I think it was probably the most disappointing party of 2015 so far. But not the most disappointing month. I'll get to that later. So C+, I just didn't have what I wanted, and I don't like Frozen, frankly. So it just doesn't match well. And hopefully they don't create a second one, because if they do, I don't want to see it. A mini thing here. All right, flip the page now. Here we go. May 2015 was the fair. Now, the fair has not been in its regular stage in the last 2 years. And frankly, you know what? When they remade the stage last season, I keep saying season, year. I liked it. I did. I really did like it. It was nice. This year's was great, I think. I loved the games. There are so many more games now. You can get so many more tickets. I just love it. They incorporated that superhero one that was from the Marvel Superhero Takeover, all that. I love that game. You guys know what I'm talking about if you played it. Yeah, I think most of you have if you're watching this. The prizes were good. Now, they were okay. I'll get more on that in a second. The new ones were good. I'll say that the new ones, like those ones were good. The tickets, you get the tickets a little easier now, but they charge with the more tickets. They give more tickets. I think that was cool. You can get more tickets a little more easier now. That was great. Here's what I didn't like about it. There should have been more rooms. This is the #1 complaint I think I hear on Twitter. I think I see all the time. And I think it's a major problem. Club Penguin needs to get more rooms on this island. I mean, needs to decorate more rooms. They are just lazy with that, and I can't stand it. I mean, if you're going to make a party, you need to do that. I'm sorry, you just need to. You have no other option. You gotta impress these people that are on here. I don't know. I think that's what they could have done. The repeated prizes. They repeated prizes. Oh, there's nothing. I don't like that. I hate that. Okay, repeat two or three items. I'd say 2 or 3, maybe older items, like the teddy bear. I know we got that in 2013 when they did that. Brought all these really old items. I didn't have them, but a lot of people did, and I think that was disappointing for them. And now I'm in the different situation where I already had a lot of these items before, and these were repeats. So I did not like that, but I love the fair in general. So I'm giving the fair a B+. But that was not all in May. In May, there was the Rainbow Puffle celebration on the Club Penguin app. It was the very first Club Penguin app party, and I haven't told anyone this, but in my head, I've always think, they need to have their own party on this app. I'm so sick of them just putting the party on there for a whole month, and then and all that. And they finally put something new on there. It was only it was like 3 or 4 rooms. It was a nice little mini party. You got 5 free items, and then they put the items in the Penguin style catalog for some reason in June. I never will understand that, but it was great. I think it was a great little mini. I'm gonna give that an A+ for sure. I think they did a great job just putting it on there. And it's hard because everything's 3D on there, and you can't make the party amazing like it is in the 2D online. So I think it was really nice what they did there. I'm also gonna say that May was great. I think May was a great month. I like seeing the medieval party in May, though. I'm a tradition type guy, like most people are here. I like the tradition. Anyways, I'm going to give May 2015 an A. Overall, it was good. The fair, again, I think more rooms and just less repeat items were good. Alright, now we're going to be more up-to-date here in June 2015. Probably one of the most disappointing months I've ever experienced.